They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedmund. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Ericon came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Ericon sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Ericon. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Ericon, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Ericon's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Ericon had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back, and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, he charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
Hello and welcome to my new Let's Play of Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. So, I've just gone through the various options and sorted out my graphics and auto-pausing. Just want to double check that actually. Yeah, I think that'll do as well. The game's basically the same as Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. There's a few differences, but not too many in terms of actual gameplay. So there's the option to do a 3rd edition sneak attack. I'm not really sure exactly what that is, as I'm almost exclusively 2nd edition AD&D as my background on this, and also the Baldur's Gate games. But this one's set in Icewind Dale and is somewhat different. Whilst you have your storyline, you don't have a set character, as it were. You have the option to have predetermined parties, or you can delete everybody and create a full party of 6, unlike in Baldur's Gate, where you literally just create your one character and then you have other party members join. In this one, you create all 6 party members, and nobody ever joins. There are no additional NPCs to join as characters. There's very little NPC, well, very little to zero NPC interaction. No romances between characters. No sort of banter or any of that stuff. It's essentially stripped back Baldur's Gate, focusing primarily on the combat, and any role playing is entirely at the player's discretion. So, I'm going to personally create every single one of these characters. We shall carry on with the Sarah Evenstar character. She will be in here. I'm not sure as particularly what. She was I believe she was a fighter cleric, or just a cleric in the previous game. I'm not 100% certain. I have played this game through as an archer before, which it worked brilliantly up to a certain level, and then the enemies sort of become... There's a tipping point where what the archer can do effectively goes from being able to take down anything to, at best, take down a few minions. So I sort of want to create a more rounded character who is probably just as good as an archer in terms of shooting. Well, as close as I can get, but at the same time can actually do things other than shoot and isn't limited in their armor. So I will be back once I have created all of these characters.
Our tale begins here, in the quiet fishing village of Easthaven, one of the so-called 10 towns of Icewind Dale. The tiny community is hardly a town, but rather a collection of ramshackle huts crowded together upon the icy shores of Lac Dinashire. Here, within a dimly lit tavern, a group of travelers sit huddled around a table, swapping tales and making grand plans for the future, completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. Who might you be?
Greetings, Hrothgar. My name is not Goris. It's Sarah Evenstar, but this is a terribly stitched together opening filled with joys and edits and all sorts of things, so we'll go with here.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I would offer you this small piece of advice. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Farewell. And through the magic of editing, dun, 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 Shazam! And we're back. So,
You had need of me?
let's take a look at our characters. We have Sarah Evenstar, Fighter Cleric. Some good rolls. I mean, I didn't go in and use any Shadow Keeper on this, which does work on Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, as well as Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. So we've got a very good strength. That was a good lucky roll though. I literally just clicked to get all the numbers, and well, we got a 93 on the strength. So we've got 18 strength, dex and constitution, and since we're a cleric as well, 18 on the wisdom. Fighter cleric, again, basic, but fairly competent. I need a sort of a, not full frontline fighter, but second line, and also good for support as well. We have Grak Breakmud, who is my half-orc barbarian. I've never used a half-orc before, so I figured I'd give it a go. And again, we got a very good rolls. So we got a 19 strength, 18 dex, 19 con, and then some decent other things. Nothing terrible. And he is a barbarian. So he is not going to get any better than Splint Mail, unfortunately. Not going to get any better than specialization in weapon and weapon class and fighting style. But he is faster, and he is immune to backstab, which, if I recall, in this game can be quite handy. He also gets rage, and from 11th level he'll get, resistance to all physical damage, and up to 20% once he gets to level 19. So 10 and 2 sets of 5. So yeah, he's a barbarian. Then we have Elwyn Firehand, who is our mage. Our main mage, I should say. She has got really good stats. I got a really good roll for her. So Dex, Con, and Intelligence are 18 each. Wisdom of 13, Charisma 10, and Strength of 9. So she's a basic mage. I think I gave her Magic Missile and Sleep. And she's a half-elf. Then I've got Moonstride Halfinge, who's a thief, another basic single-class character here. Some great results on her rolls. So she has a Dex Con of a 19 and 18, Strength of 13, Intelligence of 15 for those scrolls that eventually she'll end up using, probably. I think it's Intelligence that you need for that. And a Charisma of 13, so she'll be doing all of our shopping, albeit she's not really doing a great deal of shopping. So that's our thief, mage, damage dealer, and second line fighter, but could be pushed up into the front row if necessary. Then we have a dwarven defender, another class race that I have not used much of. So we have the dwarf there as he's got a good constitution, slightly less dexterity, but he has really good. Everything else, so dexterity, constitution, wisdom. I mean, there's really good set of stats I'm rolling up here. In the kit description for this thing, he is a formidable warrior, can be reputed to be worth 2 soldiers of any other race, which is probably bullshit. So defensive stance, which gets 50% resistance to all physical damage and 2 saving throws for just a half movement rate. Now, if I can get him something like Boots of Speed, then, you know, it'd be amazing. And an additional 5% crushing, slashing, excuse me, yawning so much today. Piercing missile damage, so maximum 20%. So when he gets the combination of the defensive stance and level 20, he'll have a 70% resistance to all physical damage, which would be really impressive as far as I'm concerned. You know, you want someone to just stand there and absorb hits. So that would be fantastic. He gets again D12 hit dice. Doesn't really matter. He can only can't exceed mastery in axes and warhammers. I think I've got him specialised in axes. I think I have. If I haven't, then I'll be quite annoyed. That would be, yep, I've got him in axes. Excuse me, and crossbow. Fine, and he's like my second frontline fighter. And then I thought, what shall I do next? I need somebody who's good, could wear armor and fight, but also as a secondary option, an additional mage, just sort of to bolster up things. And so I decided I would have an elven fighter mage. See how that turns out. I mean, worst could happen is it could be dreadful, but she has got every stat required for a mage and every stat required for a fighter. So at worst, I can just slap her in a suit of armor and throw her into the front line. Not much in the way of hit points. Sorry, well, 10 hit points is not bad, frankly. So she's got all the good stuff there. Given her the basic short sword and crossbows, because elves get benefits to those things, and well, I don't have many in the way of short sword people, I think. But I think she's pretty good. So that's Leafpire Windry, and he is Flint Rockbeard. Good, solid dwarven names. So we are.
No small task.
We are here. We're going to tab. We've got a bunch of people. We've got one actual person. And we shall talk to him now. Well met. Why, ye seem to me like fresh new vein of ore, all untried and untested. I be Hildreth, should ye wish to know. Vein of ore? What do you mean? What I'm saying is that ye look a little new to this adventuring thing. No offence intended. We all have to start somewhere. If ye be looking for tips, I even have some news that might prove interesting to ye. Oh, I see. What news do you have? I'm not all eyes and ears here. Mostly I've been keeping to my cups to keep the chill away, but I have heard that a local sword named Hrothgar is putting... Yes, the man who just came and talked to us. I think I remember him. Putting together some sort of expedition. Sounds like it might be fun. I'll be going along myself. Oh, what do you know about the expedition? The folks around here say that Hrothgar be a valiant man, but not the type to go dashing off to his death. They say he be an excellent leader, and we're headed up to the mountains to investigate some sort of disturbance up there. Ye best be talking to Hrothgar himself to hear the full story. Well, if you're going, it must be a good trip. You seem like a seasoned adventurer. Farewell for now. So that's that done. We'll talk to the bar lady, Grisella. Hello there, dearie. Welcome to Winter's Cradle Tavern. My name's Grisella. I own and operate this fine establishment. What can I get for you? How about a drink? A drink? Oh, of course, dearie. After all, this is a tavern. Plenty to drink here. Yes, indeed. Yes, well, you see, I'm a bit of a bind right now. I've run out of everything. I've nothing to offer you in the way of drink at this moment. You run out of everything? Well, the tavern hasn't completely run dry, but I do have some stock in the cellar, but what? This is rather embarrassing, but I'm having somewhat of a pest problem down in that dirty old cellar. I'm afraid to go down there. I do so hate bugs. Just the thought of those nasty creepies and crawlies sends shivers down my spine. I see. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, that's awfully sweet of you, dearie, but I don't expect you to go into any trouble on my account. I'm sure I'll think of something. Have no fear, madam. I shall see to it the pests down below trouble you no further. Wonderful. The stairs to the cellar are in the back room. Now, you be careful down there, dearie, and don't let any of those little buggers creep back up here, all right? And I won't, but first we are going to exit and actually buy something in order to fight with, as we have literally all just got sticks. Now...
Done.
Is this our shop? Let's talk to Gaspar. Well, met stranger. The name's Gaspar. Gaspar the fishmonger. What can you do? What can I do for you this fine day? Fishmonger? This doesn't look much like a fish shop. That's because it isn't, my friend. This is my home. I may be a fishmonger, but that doesn't mean I hawk fish like some street vendor. I deal in large quantities of dried knucklehead and scrimshaw, the bulk of which I keep stored in my warehouse down on the shore. Dried. What exactly is scrimshaw? Scrimshaw is simply a fancy name for carved bone. Since knucklehead trout are so rare, scrimshaw carvings made from their bones are particularly valuable. Scrimshaw from East Haven is prized by fine artists and craftsmen throughout the realms. You must make a decent amount of coin selling these fish. That's an honest living. I make most of my profit from trade, though. As a matter of fact, I have an important transaction in the works as we speak. What sort of transaction? The town's food stores are running dangerously low. My warehouse foreman, Sheridan, tells me that there may not be enough food to last through the coming winter. I've arranged to trade with old Galloway up in Gardinraval, and that will keep our stomachs full as well into next year. The caravan's due to arrive any day now. Well, best of luck to you.
No small task.
Let's have a quick look at the map. I need to find the shop. That's Hrothgar. We don't need to worry about him yet.
Very well.
I do want to find this bloody this shop. I'm really annoyed.
I see.
I haven't seen you in town before. You come from the south? Yes, I wanted to ask you a few things about East Haven. East Haven? Lived here for quite a span, I have. Things have been getting worse of late, though. Do you mean the weather? Ah, the weather's been going from bad to worse. Never seen it get so cold this early in the year, and there's no sign of it letting up. With all this snow, the passes to the south are going to get snowed in early. Very well, I wanted to ask you some other things about East Haven. Can you tell me a little about the town? Well, since you're new in town, you'll probably want to get a room at the Snowdrift Inn. It's on the eastern side of town. The innkeeper Quimby, he's a right enough sort. He should have plenty of rooms available, but he's just got enough guests from the south, so at least one room is taken. Can you tell me any more about the town? Aside from Quimby's Inn, there's Pomab's Emporium in the northeast part of town. He can be a right-ass Pomab can, so I hope you don't need to buy anything from that copper-clenching jackal. I would damn Calishite had stayed down south with the rest of his kind. I must leave. Okay.
Very well.
So north, east. So we were going the wrong way. Oh, there we go. That's... Oh, there's my barbarian. Storming. Okay. Let's talk to Pomab. What's this? More barbarians come to my shop. No doubt. Nothing to barter with but more wolf pelts and polished stones. Very well, let us get this over with. What do you want? Barbarians? I think you're mistaken, friend. How am I now? I did not think so. All of you northerners are the same to me. Smelly and barbaric. Northerners? I take it you're not from around here. Huh, I'm Pomab Az-Kazmir, Royal Diplomatic Envoy of Galisham and appointed overseer of the northern caravan routes. Ah, I see. Your appearance as a lowly shopkeeper is just a clever disguise to throw off any would-be assassins. Am I right? Your poor attempt at sarcasm is as obvious sign of your lowly birth. I'll have you know that I am third cousin to the Pasha himself, not to mention a royal courtier in good standing. Whatever. Can I just buy something, please? Okay. So we are all selling our quarterstaffs. We are done. I'm going to move. Who is my most charismatic individual? 9, 10, 10, 13, 10, 9.
What? Me lead?
Yep, you can lead.
I'll take care of it.
Well, it doesn't actually do anything. So we've got 3 helmets. Under. I'll come back once I've bought things, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I have done a very poor job of shopping. We've got. I'll just quickly shift you back
I
there.
shall lead the way.
It's about right. I've equipped myself with a warhammer, sling, a couple of those, and a helmet. And we have a potion bag. This guy's got the armor, splint mail, helmet, shield, medium shield, arrows for when I can afford a longbow for him. He's got a sword at the moment. This guy has his heavy crossbow bolts, axe, helmet, and shield. Don't have enough money for an armor at the moment. She's got sling, short sword. She's got a heavy crossbow, short sword, and just a sling. Oh, and we've got a scroll case and a gem bag, because those things are necessary. We have 50 gold, but I don't think that's enough, but we won't need it right now.
Indeed.
Oh, come on. So we are just going to go head back into the pub, and I will call that an episode. The introductions and initial equipage has been done. And then next time we will go down into the basement and clear out whatever bugs and problems are down there. In the meantime, I will go into the scripts and sort out all the AI for attacks and what have you. But for now, I shall say thank you ever so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, do not worry about it. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.